It's wrestling time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Yes, the figure is in there. Today we're going to have a look at the Jazwares AEW. Oh, a little bit of the Bubbly Chris Jericho figure, which is based on the moment, on the night where Chris Jericho became the first ever AEW champion. I was watching that event and it was crazy good. So when Ringside Collectibles, this is a Ringside Collectibles exclusive by the way, when they announced this, I had to get it. I don't know if I'll get any more AEW figures, but without further ado, let's have a look at this one. Well, actually, before I do, because of the nature of the packaging, how it's like special and this entire thing, you got the Ringside exclusive, you got all the Jazwares stuff. You got a picture of Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and this is not a full bottle. I think this is just part of the packaging. It's probably just half a bottle with all the stuff in there, based on the Bubbly, which he actually released. I think it's sold out now, so never got a case because they don't ship to Luxembourg. Anyway, let's have a look at the figure now. Okay then, so this looks so freaking good. I did not expect this. You all know me. I'm all about my Figmas. I'm all about my anime figures. I love wrestling, but I never really wanted to collect wrestling figures because that's a whole another Pandora's box of characters that I would want. And there's good stuff out there, but I always shied away from it. But with this one, I wanted a little bit of the Bubbly because of the meme nature of the entire incident, really. So when I saw the set, I had to have it, and I am pretty pleased with what I got right now. So, but without further ado, let's have a look at the entire package. Don't just let me sell you on the first couple of seconds. I had to figure in my hand. 17.5 centimeters to the top of his head, which means we're going up to, let's see, let me line this up correctly, 6.8 inches tall, 6.8, 6.9 overall look and detail. This is Chris Jericho. This looks like Chris Jericho. I love the face sculpt. It's amazing. He has the smirk on it. I mean, he just won the title, but then he got like the crappy olives and whatnot. We'll get to that. The olives and everything is in there. So it is nicely done. It looks a little bit unclean if you're really going in. The eye is kind of shifty, but still, I mean, the look of it, they captured the look very nicely, and the beard hair and whatnot, and the teeth also. The paint job is pretty clean. I think it's like semi-printed on there. I don't know. Is this like completely printed? Well, this eyebrow goes awry a little bit too much to the side, if you're asking me. But still, captures the look very nicely. Hair sculpt in the back also looks good. This is such a wrestling hair. I don't know. It looks like such wrestling. I got a little paint issue there. I got like a white spot. Got like a hair. Got like the skin color peeking through. Unfortunate. For the rest of it, it looks pretty good. Doesn't have any shading or whatnot. This is just like brown plastic. It is painted on the top of his head though. So for the most part it is good, obviously, except for that part over there. Then you got the t-shirt. It's already like an accessory. I usually show that later. But I love the t-shirt. It's on there nice and tightly. It doesn't stand out too much. The print of it is amazing, considering that it's also so small. He's got the Bubbly t-shirt, which he did not have at the moment, so kayfabe breaking, like going ahead a bit of time. I want to take the shirt off though, because you can, and obviously I want to have a look at the rest of the figure, at the body sculpt and whatnot. Let me get this real quick. Now, just to have a closer look at the body mode, I like this one. That's another thing I have kind of like a problem with wrestling figures, or even wrestlers in video games, how you have like somebody like, I don't know, Payne, and he has abs like Batista, like where they really exaggerated where the muscles. With this one, I think it's pretty accurate. You know, Chris Jericho, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he definitely has some muscles on him, so that looks nice. Doesn't have any nipples. They don't put any nipples on the molds, I guess. That's kind of more fantasy stuff. Considering this is supposed to be realistic, I'm not getting upset over the lack of a nipple, but still. Moving on to the tattoos, oh my god, those are so well done, and they look so good. This was like the cover of I think an album, of like a Fozzy album. You got some more artwork on there, and it looks really nice. It's printed on there super cleanly, over the joints and whatnot. Will get distorted a little bit, obviously, when you move the arm around, but still, I like that they also painted it on a joint. It doesn't get broken up or anything. Looks fantastic all throughout it. Got like more flames on it. And yeah, overall, the tattoo is already something. Well, the tattoos, and there's a lot more, something also on the hand. So yeah, I mean, that is awesome. Looks great. Got some more on this side, just a little bit. And the rest of the body is pretty plain. Again, not too much muscle work, not too much muscle detail, but it's not supposed to. Then we get down to the pants. You got the silver in there, which is very nicely painted for those small kind of rings going on. Also nicely molded on. They just painted the kind of wires that are going around, which don't seem to line up. So that's kind of weird. Also, if they didn't mold it on, but that's such a small detail, I'm not really going to complain about it. Just saying. Got some more silver on the side over here, same thing. You got kind of like the stripes that go up and down, which are just painted on. Everything is just printed on. Rest of the pants are just like black plastic. Nothing much more to see there. You got the knee pads, which are rubbery. Also, can move those around. Those are not connected anywhere. But then again, you cannot take them apart if you're wondering if you could take them off. Can't really do that unless you really, I guess if you really heat it up, make it a lot more rubbery, you could probably pull it down the leg. Just an idea. If you break it off, don't come crying towards me. And then you got the boots. Here it's actually, everything is molded on there. So you got that and copyright stuff. That's really it. And it makes for a great look. Now, articulation, I feel like this is always the most important point, because I usually review Japanese figures, which are better in articulation in any way. Just don't, we're not gonna have that conversation, I'm just saying. But also they're more expensive. That's one thing. You also got to remember during this review, this is a lot cheaper than a Figma or whatever I'm usually reviewing over here. So, head sculpt, like that barely moves around. You have a little bit of wiggle motion. Does go forward. I try to push it as hard as I can, and that's about it. Doesn't really go to the back, same thing. I don't know, the way they molded it is not the greatest. Didn't really leave much room. Does also barely tilt side to side. Not really at all, actually. But it does go all the way around, have a swivel on there. For your shoulder articulation, got a big hinge over here that goes from all the way. So that goes up and down very nicely. Rotation, but nothing to bring it back and forth. Obviously, you don't have anything in here going on. Then you have bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, which is nice. I gotta give him props for that. Simple hinge in the hand, moves forward to the back and all the way around, swivel. Then for your chest articulation, back, forward, side to side, and goes not all the way around, but still pretty good. Also is the lower part of the chest, the lower part of the torso, soft plastic by the looks of it. That's a weird choice, and I don't really know why, but okay. Now, the more I look at it, it seems like a little bit of color difference. Just a tiny bit. Also under the lighting, it shines through even more. But that's just because this is soft plastic. By the way, you hear that? Those are ratcheted. So that will be nice if you want to put them in some wrestling poses. Much appreciated. Hold up the belt or whatever. That's cool. Then we have the lower torso. Does also just have some little bit side-to-side motion. Does move back and forth though, very nicely. Doesn't leave any gaps. And if you combine these two, get some nice forward motion, get some very good backward motion, get some DDP yoga to fix your back. If you break it, more wrestling references. Yeah, what wrestling? Anyway, goes out to the side on the legs. The one design flaw I see here is why are they not black? Just, I don't know. You don't really see it, but it's just weird. Goes out forward and doesn't really go to the back. The crotch piece is not soft plastic. Also, as such, you can tell it goes out in an angle if you go forward. Still have good forward motion, but a little bit hindered there. Then you have a fine swivel, breaks up the mold, but it is there. Double hinged knees, which are actually pretty good. I feel like you would get more out of it, but it's obviously kind of blocked by the knee pad, but this is still already fairly nice. Actually, let me try this one. Yeah, like if you got the lower one with the upper one, it probably goes up more than that. Can't really get it because the knee pad is blocking it. You have a swivel on the boots, which does, it does go all the way around actually. That is pretty nice. Does kind of go in an angle also a little bit. And you have a beautiful pivot side to side, forward and back. That's it. You don't have a toe hinge, unfortunately, but still good stability, good movement, and pretty strong joints. Accessories! Yes, you're looking correctly. All of this are the accessories. We don't have hands. I don't know what's up with American figure makers not delivering hands. But anyway, you got the food. You got like the cheap salami, which you complain about, and like chips and whatnot. I don't think it's 100% accurate to what was on TV, but you know, it's still a nice rendition. And having the salami and the olives, you complain about the olives. You got the olives in a single little bucket over here, if that would focus on it. Nice and detailed olives, have like a metallic bucket, kind of can or whatever. It looks good, looks a little bit shiny. It's olives, paint job is very nice on them. You got a bucket with ice and 2 bottles of champagne. Not the official bubbly yet, that wasn't out back then. You got like, what does it say? Le Bubbly. It already says Le Bubbly, okay. So I guess they created their own, obviously to have some fun with it. You just kind of slide that into the ice. You have 2 spots in there. Also, 1 bottle is open and 1 is closed. If you want to play around with that. Le Bubbly. So yeah, you got Le Bubbly. Put that in the ice bucket. And there you go. And you got 2 little cans. Well, how do you call that? Just a plastic can for your drinks, which don't really focus. The camera really wants me to have a look at the belt, right? But I want to keep that for last. Has some bleeding on the white, but looks good. I mean, it's just some cans, plastic cans. Nothing too fancy. You got an AEW microphone. All Elite Wrestling. Tiny writing. Printed on there. Looks nice. It's a bit rubbery. And then you got the table. Haha. I want to have a look at the table also. Because you have them hinges over here, can put that together like any wrestling table, and it has a nice action feature. Nobody ran through the table. Okay. There you go, Mazel Tov. So you just break the table up. You have like these 2 packs which connect to it, and it holds actually together very nicely, as you just seen. But if you want to play around with it and throw your wrestlers to it, it's a Japanese table. There you go. You can do that. Play around. It's cool. I like it. I actually like it. It has like a very good connection. I'm gonna give props to that. But it does break if you throw something through it. Also, you know, we already had a look at the t-shirt, but here it is again. And the AEW World's Championship. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful belt. It's a beautiful toy belt also. It's very nicely printed, and I think that's the only way to get it right now. Nobody in Wave 1 has the belt, I think. I'm not sure though. But still, it doesn't matter. I don't want to flex too much, but it looks amazing. I love it, and I approve of it. So that's your accessories. And it's gonna bring me to the final thoughts for this Chris Jericho, Le Champion. A little bit of the Bubbly figure. I've got to be honest, I went into this kind of blind. I did not really expect much. I mean, I looked at some pictures, but really the end result of it, I'm happy with it. It looks better than I thought. The articulation is very nice, again, for like, at the price point. I think you still get some really cool pose out of this guy. And obviously the accessories blow everything out of the water. You got the table, you got everything, you got like the Bubbly, you got like a microphone and everything you really need, and a nice title belt, which is always a big thing for collectors to have all the different title belts. Here you got one already and it looks amazing. So as such, yes, I do recommend this figure if you're an AEW fan, if you're a wrestling fan, if you're a Chris Jericho fan. Absolutely, this is awesome. And to everybody else who likes this, you know, you have a look. Still available at Ringside Collectibles, which it is an exclusive of, so this is not a sponsored video by any way, just saying Ringside Collectibles seems to be the place to be if you want wrestling action figures or other wrestling stuff. So, recommend it. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whenever Chris Jericho wants a little bit of the Bubbly.